Hello, what's up guys? It's Lolowut's Coffee
Had he
Break.
stopped in Central America, he would be in such a better position right now.
Neither person receiving a card piece, they just defended or attacked in simple Argentina.
That lost in the first team in the whole tournament to show what is the synergy between your picks and your teammates.
We can see that train town pick in West Russia is going to be key because he's right in between his two opponents.
7 total bonuses that are South America, West Africa, East Africa.
But that's just an example of how luck can play into this.
Okay, welcome back to Lolowut's Coffee Break. We have our special guest, Fizzer. Introduce yourself, Fizzer. Hello, Fizzer.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. All right. Today I brought in Fizzer to interview while we play a little bit of a casual game. He will not be watching the stream, so you'll be seeing the game from my perspective as I interview him. Okay, so Randy, if that is your real name, how's your day been so far?
It's been good.
So, what gave you the idea of creating WarLight?
It was really just a case of building a better mousetrap.
Building a better mousetrap?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. And so every day I would go on and I'd be playing games with my friends, and I'd think I could do so much better than this. So eventually I got frustrated and I just said, okay, I'm going to start building something. And originally I was just really building it for myself and my friends. I didn't know it was going to balloon into what it is today. But I just kept thinking, wouldn't it be cool if you could do that? And I'd add some feature. And I just kept doing that over and over. And eventually it started picking up steam and a bunch of people started playing. And then it just got snowballed and got to where it is today.
Oh, all right. So I know that it was intended to be a strategic game, but it looks like you opened up the community to do whatever they want with the game. So what made you think of that? Because I know that most game makers do not think about letting the community do whatever, basically.
Yeah, I really like the customization factor of the game. I like being able to go in and tweak things and create variants and build the game up to be what you want it to be. And I think that's one of the key features, and I really like that. I don't know if it was a decision from the beginning. It was more just a fact of how it evolved. But I really like it, and I think you'll see more customization coming in the future.
All right. So a lot of people do have questions about the ladder system and how exactly it works, and what you're going to do to update it. So can you give us a little bit of insight on that?
Yeah, the ladder system. So the ladder, for one thing, the way it works is all clearly documented on the wiki. So I actually have built it in such a way that you can go through and you can verify everything that the ladder does. You can verify that it's working correctly. So you can actually go, it's kind of difficult to do, but it's possible to go in and see the algorithms that make it work and know exactly what it's going to do. It's not random, it's actually predictable. So it's built in such a way that it's verifiable, which I think is something that's important because you can ensure that it's not cheating in any way. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, in some ways. So are we going to see any more variants in the ladders besides the season ladder?
Yeah, I would like to. At this point, I don't have any definite plans. I don't have anything to announce, but I would certainly like to see more.
All right. So how long have you been working on WarLight altogether?
Let's see, I started in February 2008, so it's been, what, is that 4 years now?
Yeah.
Coming up on 4.5?
I didn't even realize that because I joined back when came out on Congregate, and I thought it was only like 1 year old before then.
Yeah, I've been working on it a long time. It's gone through some changes over the years, but in the early days it was private only. You had to be invited, so it was really small and hardly anyone knew about it. But it's been growing a lot in the last year or two.
So have you ever played any of the other Risk strategy games like Conquer Club and things like that? You have?
I have, and the thing is, a lot of those other sites, they're based around the game Risk, which WarLight is somewhat based around the game Risk as well, of course, but a lot of those other sites are strictly Risk clones. They basically are the game of Risk, whereas WarLight is actually not Risk. It works quite a bit differently. The game mechanics work quite a bit differently. And Risk is a fine game, but really, in my opinion, Risk is more, it's designed to be a game you'd play in a single sitting at home. And I actually am somewhat critical of Risk's, the rules behind Risk, because I don't think it adapts well to an online play. I think WarLight actually does quite a bit better. I mean, one of the key things is that everyone can take their turn at the same time. And that's something you just can't do in Risk settings. So I think that helps keep it go a lot faster, and it helps keep people more engaged. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, guys, the game that I mentioned, Conquer Club, is a Risk clone. There's little customization. I don't know if you guys have ever played it. It was entertaining for about like 5 days. Well, it's true, though. The community there is very driven. They do make their own events, which were somewhat interesting, but it was all community based by that point, and it wasn't like the game inherently let you change settings. You had to get a moderator to help you out. It got frustrating after a while. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, don't forget you take your turn, by the way. I'm just
right. I'm talking. Let's see. So you can't talk about the game because I'd hear it.
Yeah. Thinking. So it's funny that nobody has really brought this up. I know that you've played the ladder, but nobody's ever suspected you of cheating. But has anybody actually emailed you saying, this isn't fair that you're playing all these games?
No, actually, I've never got that feedback. Actually, that was something I was really concerned about when I first was making WarLight, because I was concerned I wouldn't be able to play on the ladder, because I'm kind of conscious about that. I don't want people to think I'm cheating. But it hasn't really been an issue. And some of it might just be that I'm not that good, so people don't really accuse me of cheating. It is something I think about, though, when I'm playing. I tend to not take long shots, because if they do work out, someone's going to be like, even if they don't sit, they might be thinking in the back of their mind, did he know that I wasn't going to deploy there or anything like that? So I tend to play a little bit more conservatively because of that, which is probably a disadvantage, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not winning all the time.
Yeah. So what's the most hilarious complaint you've got? Because I know as an administrator sometimes you can get some really funny emails about complaints.
The most hilarious complaint I got? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. A lot of times, one of the feedback I get all the time is people write to me and tell me that the insane single-player level is impossible. That's one feedback I get all the time. People just have a hard time with that, and it's designed to be very difficult. It's designed for people that have been playing WarLight for a long time, and they know the ins and outs of the system, and they want a really deep challenge. That's usually just what I tell people.
Oh, yeah. Somebody asked, have you ever completed the Insane Challenge yourself?
I have. a long time ago, back when I was first developing the single-player version, I played it a lot and eventually beat it, and I was tuning it as I played it. I don't play the single-player version a whole bunch. I actually don't even think I've completed it since it's been live, so even though I had my stats, if I turned my stats on, it would say it's not completed. But that's just because I haven't done it since on the live server. I've done it on as I was testing and developing the level.
All right. So, as I understand, the Congregate version only has that single player right now, correct?
That's correct.
Will it ever have multiplayer?
Possibly. That's something actually the Congregate folks have contacted me and asked me to do, and I would like to do that someday. It's not the highest priority right now. Of course, my current priority is, if you've been following the blog, I'm working on making WarLight work on iOS and Android. So that's my current task. But someday after that's done, I definitely would like to launch a multiplayer version on Congregate.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of people would be anticipating that. I know that the first thing that I did is when I played the single-player version, I was like, oh, wow. You know, here's this new Risk game that I've never heard. Well, Risk-like game. I should not call it Risk. And I was just like, you know, why is there no multiplayer on Congregate? And so after a while, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go to the main site and just stay there. I don't even really get on Congregate anymore.
Yeah.
Because I used to just roam around Flash games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've played a lot of Flash games in my day as well. They're just so accessible, you know, it's so easy to click on them. And the Flash community, free is the default, which makes it pretty nice. It's not like on iOS where you're basically expected to pay.
Schwanigan asks, Fizzer, why don't you ever play team games?
I played team games a lot back in the day. The person that I used to always play 2v2s with no longer plays WarLight. And I actually asked him, when you guys did the first 2v2 live tournament, I asked if he'd be willing to come back for a resurgence, and I was going to join the 2v2 with him. He was busy, though. He couldn't do it that weekend. Maybe one of these future 2v2 live tournaments, I'll join that with him, and we can see how well we do.
And here's where we pause because we're both thinking.
I'm still watching the turn. Let's see. What did you attack? No, you didn't attack me. You deployed all those armies, didn't attack. Huh. I'm not thinking about this game as much as I usually would. I'm distracted.
Well, yeah, so am I. I probably should attack there. I was debating it. I was like wondering if you were going to also deploy. And I was like, all right. It was a risky move that I should have taken, but not too worried about it.
Are people talking about our game on the stream?
Oh, not too much. They're more focused on the interview part.
Yeah, if you want to mute your mic and talk to them about the game, you're always welcome to do that.
Oh, no. I'm not going to be asking for advice and things like that. But
Make it fun for them.
Make it fun for them? Well, if they want to suggest a move, they can suggest a move. I mean,
Sure.
they can see me playing live, so they can be like, "Oh my God, you're making a huge mistake." I know Schwanigan would love to jump in on that.
He's dying to. He'll call your moves stupid.
No, that's Gui. Oh man, I forgot to put up Gui's post. That's what I forgot, man.
Shelly's gonna point out all your mistakes for you. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm making plenty of this move, I think. But so there's a lot of people in the community that have recently been burned out. You know, playing way too many of the same settings. What suggestions do you have for them if they're feeling this overwhelming thing to where they feel like WarLight is becoming more like work instead of just play?
Yeah, I mean, that can happen with anything that you do too much. My advice is just, tone it down. Don't play too much to the point where you get burned out. If you're not having fun, take a break. I mean, the whole thing is the game is designed to be fun. Don't feel obligated to play just because, it's there. It's there for fun. Use it in moderation.
Well, and a little bit of my suggestion to people that are feeling burned out, become involved in the community, do something else. I mean, Schwenigan did retire, but he's back here and he's commentating, and I think he's having a much more fun time.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, this turn might be a monumental turn. This might be a monumental turn. Let's see how it goes. Are there any other questions you guys want to ask him? I mean, feel free to talk on Twitch TV. I was going to quickly glance over at the little lobby tournament I made. So you say that lion guy is Gui?
I have no comment.
Oh man. Oh yeah, Addix Finch claimed that he was a special guest. That was funny. I'd love to figure out exactly who that is. And Dunga says he knows.
What makes you so sure he's an alternate?
Because Dunga told me he's an alternate.
Oh.
And Dunga played with him or something. Trelusa asks, will you ever make the 3v3 EU ladder?
I think someday, yeah. Eventually we'll have lots of ladders. I don't know exactly when it will be. Haven't figured that out yet. But yes. If WarLight keeps growing, yes, it will eventually happen.
What are your favorite maps so far on the game?
Yeah, most of my play has just been on the Earth family of maps, the Earth and the medium Earth. I haven't tried a lot of the maps. There's been this huge explosion of maps lately, and it's kind of overwhelming. Personally, I more get off on just the strategy aspect. I don't really care what map it's on. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. That's just kind of the way I feel.
So are there any other laps you're considering to put into the ladder system?
Any other maps into the ladder system?
Yeah.
At this point, probably not anytime soon. The 1v1 ladder and 2v2 ladder are obviously not going to change. Those are kind of the static map settings that are just there. I mean, they could change in small ways, but they're not going to drastically change maps. The seasonal ladder is always open for new maps. It's probably it will not have a new map next season, but as for future seasons, yes, it will eventually get new maps. Let's see. And while I was talking, you took Argentina. I should have defended that a little bit more. That's not good. Let's see what. Oh, just the timing. If I could have delayed one more, I wouldn't have lost. Crap.
That's almost GG. I wouldn't call it yet.
Yeah, that was not a good turn.
But then again, I'm also on mic, so I'm still susceptible to some mistakes as well. Oh yeah, Schwenigan says, can you tell us what WarLight was like in the very early days, like what it looked like?
Yeah, it was pretty much the same thing. I mean, it certainly wasn't as polished and stuff. So back in the early days, it actually wasn't running on Flash. It was running on the Silverlight plugin. That's actually where the name came from. It was War and Silverlight. It wasn't very creative. But for the most part, it worked the same. It certainly lacked a lot of the features. You know, I work on a very incremental basis, so when I first launched it, it was a very, very basic game. It didn't have all the features it did today. And then just over time, I slowly added all the features that you see today. So imagine, you know, no fog, no cards, no anything really, other than the very basic army movement system. That's what it was at the very beginning. And all those features just got added one at a time over the course of years.
Yeah, the most recent updates updating the button system is pretty awesome.
Yeah, the button system.
Well, I mean, like, the buttons look more polished. They have the little chat little thing and the card little thing. And it's just those nice touches that make it aesthetically pleasing to me.
Yeah, actually, the main reason for that, those little icons on all the buttons, was the mobile version, the iPhone and Android version. They needed buttons because they had in that version there's a huge list of actions and it's just a bunch of text. And as long as I was adding icons, I figured I might as well do it to both add them to the Flash version too for some consistency. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of polish that still needs to be done. There's still a lot of areas of the site that need polish, like the tournament system and the My Games page as well. A lot of that stuff.
I'm still looking forward if you could ever make like a host feature.
What is a host feature?
Well, it will allow me to not have to join the tournament to read the chat. You know, make myself a host, and then be able to do things like I don't know. One of the other updates I wanted was a real-time tournament, or be able to make it real-time for the live stream.
Yeah, that's a good feature. And really, it actually used to be possible to make real-time tournaments, but the problem is, for virtually 100% of the ones I got made, people didn't realize what they were doing. So someone would make a real-time tournament, and it wouldn't start for several days. And then when it finally did start, everybody would get booted because no one happened to be on at the exact time when it started. And it really was just a disaster every single time anyone checked the real-time box. So I ended up removing it.
Oh, okay.
There needs to be... Some of it is, with great power comes great responsibility, and the power that the WarLight settings give you, sometimes people need help choosing good settings, if that makes sense. Because way too many times I've seen people just go in and click randomly. Like they'll enable every single card, which I guess is fine if you're new and you're just trying to learn what all the cards do, but it's usually not going to make a really deep strategic game.
And the other thing I wanted to see the host be able to do is say, kick somebody out of the tournament, like forcibly say, this game's over.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility, and the right way of suggesting in those features is on user voice. If you don't know, there's a user voice forum, or if anyone listening doesn't know. User voice forum that allows you to see all the features that are requested and to vote on the ones you want. And I read everything that gets posted there. So anything you do, anything you want should go up there. And not a lot of stuff has gotten done lately because I've been working on the iPhone and Android client. But once that gets done, hopefully I'll get back into a rhythm of selecting the features that I think are most worthy from there and just doing them over and over. Let's see, I don't know what to do here. I wanted first move last turn to get into Moscow. Did you use an order priority card last turn?
Not possible because I didn't have one.
Oh, you used it before that? Oh, wait,
No.
you just got them, huh?
Yes,
Okay.
we just got them. Question from Min34 says, would you like WarLight to grow a lot more, or do you like it as it is now?
The goal is to make it grow a lot more, and it just kind of has to. Ever since I quit my job to work on WarLight full-time, at the current time I'm not profitable, so I'm actually losing money every month. But eventually I hope it's going to grow a lot more. Once the iPhone and Android version are out, I plan to do a lot more promotion. And hopefully once that's done, it'll end up growing to the point where I'm actually cash flow positive, which will be important for me.
Yes. All right. Yeah, I myself would love to see it become more of an e-sport, of course. That's why I'm doing most of the stuff I'm doing.
More of a what? I'm sorry.
E-sport.
Oh, esports. Yes. Yeah, I think so too. I think it really works well in that format. You know, I look at things like StarCraft, which is really big in Korea, and where they have these really competitive games. And I don't see any reason why WarLight couldn't become something like that. Of course, not exactly StarCraft, but it's
Did you seriously just beat me in order priority card?
players as well. Good. Well, you beat me last turn without the order priority card.
Oh, this is true. But it was still like, oh man. Because that would have been GG right there.
Yeah, it would have.
Damn. Now I have to deal with you again.
Don't worry, you're probably going to win anyway. This is not going well.
I mean, it's could be going worse. I mean, actually, yeah, I don't see much else that you can do to make up this game, but perhaps
Just a couple more turns.
Yeah, of course. No, because you never know. That's the thing about WarLight, is you never know when your opponent's going to make a mistake. Yeah. All right. Ooh.
Oh, crap, you beat me. I had those 12 guys moving over, or 11 guys moving to Borneo. One order later. They would have lived.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you have played that to your last turn? That would have helped me out a lot more.
No, sir. All right. Let's. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to make this this next turn the last turn.
All right, you can surrender if you want.
We're gonna play one more turn, of course, but I'm going. Yeah, I have to go right after this turn, though, for sure.
All right, I'm playing faster.
So, are you planning to keep the same kind of graphic design, or you plan on updating like things like the logo and other things later?
At this point, I don't really have any plans of updating it. I'm not much of a graphic designer. The main logo and stuff you saw there, I actually paid someone to make. And so I don't have any plans of paying someone else to do it again. I think it's good enough. I'm sure it could be done better, but I think it looks pretty good.
Well, it's definitely got a nice feel to it because of the blues and reds always mix well together.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Yeah, like I said, this is gonna be my last turn, and then I'm.
Well, if you make it a good one, it'll be over.
Yep. I thought that was a pretty good move.
Let's see, I'm just watching it. Oh, you didn't attack me in Murmansk? I was expecting you to.
Nope.
Oh, crap.
It wasn't a good idea because I need to focus up on breaking that front over the front in Russia. Whether I get Russia does not really determine the game. Whether or not you can't break any of my bonuses does determine the game.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and surrender. It was a good game. I was a little distracted.
Good game, Fizzer.
That's my excuse.
That's your excuse and you're sticking to it.
Yes.
well, good game, Fizzer. I was glad to have you on, and I hope this was. Oh yeah, one more thing because this is an important question. Perlusas asks, what do you think about clans, and will you ever make a feature for them?
I definitely would like to. I like the idea of clans. I think, it's a natural human thing to want to group up into groups.
Yeah.
And I would definitely like to see some more features around that. It's not my current highest priority. Again, my current priority is the iPhone and Android stuff. Once that's done, anything's possible. But yes, someday, eventually, yes, but it's not a high priority. It's not the highest priority right now.
All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back next week, probably with a little bit more prepared than this week. I came home like 30 minutes before the stream, and I was kind of drenched because it was raining and everything. It wasn't that fun. But next week I'll be a little bit more prepared with a little bit more insight into what's going on in ladders. I'll actually review a little bit of the notable ladder games instead of just pointing them out. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoy and see you next time. And thank you, Fizzer. Hello, what's up, guys? It's Lolowut Coffee Break.
Had he stopped in Central America, he would be in such a better position right now.
Neither person receiving a card piece. They just defended or attacked in simple Argentina.
Team that lost is the first team in the whole tournament to show what is the synergy between your picks and your teammates.
We can see that train town pick in West Russia is going to be key because he's right in between his two opponents.
7 total bonuses that are South America, West Africa, East Africa.
But that's just an example of how luck can play into this.